Alright, so we are here at Park Guell in Barcelona, and I am just chilling here on kind of one of the roofs, I guess you could say, of the buildings. There's a bench system so that you can sit there, but this place is pretty amazing. And now we just walked into the Guard building and saw kind of the history of this place and how it's actually like an incomplete system or an incomplete building, kind of like how Gaudi's La Sagrada is incomplete. But this place is pretty crazy with all the pillars and like the weird kind of walkways that they had made of stone with the statues on the edges. It's pretty fantastic. Like, you look at everything and you can see the time and dedication that was put into building everything. Now, unfortunately, there is quite a bit of construction going on, and you probably could hear that behind me. Well, it's actually in front of me, but you could actually kind of see how this building was made, which is kind of interesting. But the ceiling of this building, as you are from below it, it's crazy with these tall kind of pillars that lead up into like an arched ceiling. So everything is kind of decorated. I believe the next thing we're gonna go see is the Gaudi Museum. And after that, it's going to be into the Gothic Quarter, I think. I'm not 100% sure, I can't remember. Oh, no, it's going to be Casa Batlló and Casa Mila. So we'll go see that next. Forgot the sunglasses again. But anyhow, we'll check in a moment here. I think Lynn has a little bit to say, so we'll check in with her in a sec too. Alright, cool. More in a moment.
So we're entering the main part of Park Guell right now. They've closed off part of it for construction, but what I read online was that they close one half at a time. So every time that they close one half, the other half is going to remain open, and then once they're finished, you get to see the rest of it. So they'll close the half they haven't worked on and then open the half that they did. This is like the grand foyer. As you can see, there's some construction going on with that. But then, if you look up, you see these really cool mosaics, things of that nature. So this is the part that everyone seems to want to get. This big gecko right here. Unfortunately, it's facing the sun right now, so it's kind of difficult to get really good pictures of it, so to speak, because of the shadow that's all pushed on it, and then also everyone's standing in front of it. But still makes a pretty good view. So from there, we walked down into a small plaza-like area, where it looks like the gift shop for that. And then this is what my mom's been affectionately calling the gingerbread house. And you can definitely see why people would call it a gingerbread house when you get close. You see all these little details, and it just looks like gumdrops on the edge of each window. It's very cool. So we are inside what my mom was calling the gingerbread house, and it comes with the ticket, so entrance was free. But this is so far the view that you can get. If you look outside, see down below, and you can even see the gumdrops that I was talking about with those colorful pieces. Really nice view from inside the house. Alright, so we were just in the Gaudi house, or Guell house, I should say, not Gaudi. And it's a very, very tight spot, so they only allow a certain amount of people in at any given time. And it looks like we beat the line, because there's a huge line now, which is awesome, because there's a tour group here. So as you can see right over there, That's a fat line of people. Anyways, we're gonna start heading over to the museum side, and just wanted to take note of this amazing looking window behind me. That's on the quarters house. So parts of this park, as I said earlier, are under construction, and when they have one half under construction, the other half is open to the public. So here we are now. This is all the construction that they're doing, but then again, it's because this is the higher aqueduct, and then after they're done with that, they'll be able to close the half that we're currently in now, and they will open up the side that they newly constructed up for us to look at. So until then, we get to have one of the best views in Barcelona, apparently, and that will be over yonder. So we are now at Casa Museu Gaudi, which is the museum. And we're entering. This is really neat. Okay, so the entrance is actually down there. I guess the guard up there is to just let you know whether or not you come in or not. Oh, there are tickets. Oh, I see. So you can sell them. Gracias.
All right, so I am standing here in the garden of Gaudi's museum, or Gaudi's old house. And we just finished walking through. It was pretty awesome. You get to see kind of his bedroom, his prayer room, a little bit of kind of the designs of his furniture that he made. They weren't here when he was living here. They were just things they brought from other buildings that he made, so like churches and buildings and whatnot. But it's pretty neat. I would say it's a lot smaller than you'd think it would be for such a famous architect. It's right next to Park Guell. It's like a 2-minute walk from one of the entrances in the back of Park Guell. I'm sure you could hear Park Guell behind me. It's literally Park Guell is now behind me. So these trees that are right here actually just block off what it is. Now this house is really cool looking though, and it is pink, which is what that glow on my face is. It's right there behind me. And yeah, so just a good time checking out. Oh, one of the really interesting things, they had a completed version of La Sagrada Familia. It's like the model of it, so we got to see that as well. And then just a little bit more about the life and times of Gaudi. So, all right, now it's time for lunch. So it's about noon, we're going to lunch. All right, check it in a moment. Alright, and we just took a quick pit stop at a place called Rosa Pinky's to get some food. We're all done now. Started off with Murphy's beer, which is from Ireland, one of my favorite brands, and then we went into just the main meal itself, which consisted of lasagna, a kind of mushroom cream pasta, a carbonara, and finally a cannoli that came out. And then I kind of just finished up the whole meal with a cup of coffee. Mom's feeling a lot better now, so we're just going to go ahead and make our way to the next place, which is, I believe, Casa Mila, and then we're going to walk down to Casa Batlló. So we'll check in a moment here. Alright, cool.
So we are at Casa de Gaudi, and we are chilling, and we're not going to go in, but we're going to take a look around just to take a look at it. So it looks pretty cool so far. way down the sides, as you can see right there, and all the way right there. Really cool.
As long as the video's still straight.
So, we had walked a few, maybe a block or two down from the Casa de Gaudi, and then we wandered over after a little bit of a snafu with navigation, and we're able to find the second house that it is known for, and it's Casa Barcelona Gaudi. Kind of covered by some trees and whatnot, but overall so good. Gracias. No, he literally just patted our bags then. So we just got our tickets, we just headed in, and now we're gonna start with this little audio tour thing that we got going on. That's really cool. It's like a visual audio tour. Pretty interesting. So this seems to be like an audio visual tour, and you can use the camera on the phone to see other things like show up. It's pretty neat. So we just exited Casa Barcelona Gaudi, and now we're headed back to the hotel. We're gonna try and find a cafe before that though, and we'll gonna have a snack, maybe drop off some stuff or whatnot, and then we'll head out to see if we can walk down all the way to the Columbus Monument. So I'll catch you when we get there. So we just finished having coffee at Cafe Zurich. Very interesting little cafe. The guy gave us change right at the table. It was very interesting. They didn't have what we were initially looking for, so then we decided to, we got something else, but we have pictures of it. They're quite nice. Really good coffee. He poured the milk right in front of me as he served it. It was really good. Anyways, we're headed back to the hotel now to meet up with Mom and figure out what we want to do for dinner. And yeah, check back in then.
Alright, so after going to the Cafe Zurich, we went back to the hotel and met up with Mom. Now we're out at the Mercat de Boqueria, and we're just chilling around, walking around, shopping a little. Half the places are closed, as you can see the shutters like right over there. Other half is kind of open, and the things that are open are amazing. Anything from meat to fruit to candy. Man, the candy here is crazy. We went to this one stall and they had all sorts of crazy different styles of chocolate and any type of sweets that you're kind of looking for. We noticed that one funny thing that while walking around, they like to call their sweets medicines here, or like labs or pills, stuff like that when you're walking around, at least here in Barcelona. And you know, it's just an overall great time. The food looks amazing here. And we really haven't had all that bad of a meal yet here. So yeah, it's, you know, I'm staring at a bread shop right now and it's making me hungry. It's about to push 6, so it is starting to get dinner time for us. And just looking at everything here makes me even hungrier. So we'll check back in once we get to the restaurant. It's just around the corner, so it shouldn't be that far. All right, cool. All right, so we are at the restaurant called Minho, and we just finished up here. It was delicious. I got a little bit of the Asian glow going on because I had a sangria, but we also got bread with tomato on it, a garlic prawn dish, some pork covered or pork on top of potatoes, and some olives, and some spicy chicken wings. Overall, it was really delicious. It was really good. Totally recommend this place, and it's right by our hotel, so that makes it easy to get back. But I think that's it for tonight, and so we'll be off to Sevilla in the morning, and that will do it for us. All right, cool. Great way to end, day 4? So, awesome. See you tomorrow. All right, so I just realized that we didn't say anything about Casa Batlló, which we went to earlier today. And it was like super amazing, actually. Totally worth every penny that we spent. It was 28 euros currently, and per person that is. And it was really awesome to go in and see. And they had this cool like 3D smart tour guide thing that they gave you. It was like a cell phone that you'd carry around, and there was kind of augmented reality on the walls and everything. Once you used it, the rooms that were empty would then be full of like things that Gaudi would have owned or had at that building. I mean, I guess technically the person that lived there was Batlló, but yeah, it was all designed by Gaudi, and it was really impressive. Anything stick out in your mind, Lynn?
Honestly, just how tall it was. So it's all based off of, a lot of people say water or underwater imagery, like the way the colors really move from like lighter to darker and whatnot. The augmented reality just kind of added some imagination to it when you looked through at it to give you a sense of what the inspiration was behind everything, and it gave a lot more context to all the shapes and all the different architecture types that you were looking at. Mm-hmm. So it was really neat. One thing that struck me pretty crazy was just how tall it was. Like, it went up pretty high, and he really did make like a really nice like air well like in the center. Mm-hmm. And it was beautiful. Like, it really captured some imagination in there. The colors were really rich, and he really just played around with it. Like, it really was what you would imagine inside of a sandcastle on a beach almost. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's, I mean, it was like 6 stories or something like that, mm-hmm. And there were 14 stations for you to go talk to, or not talk to, interact with. And it was really impressive, like all the different places. And you could go to the roof and see like the different rooftop style that he had, as well as in the backyard that they kind of made, where it was like there was a garden back there that was private for, you know, the Mr. Batlló or the Batllós. And I mean, overall, there's just so much to see and do there. And the greatest thing was there was a lot of learning that was being done. So all you had to do was listen, and it's the interactiveness of that little like phone device with all the different areas, whether it be on the first floor or on the, you know, fifth or sixth floor, that everything had a purpose, which was kind of the coolest thing. Everything had a design behind it. Like, they tried to make it look a certain way. That way it would reflect some sort of nature theme. And this one mainly was about water and being like in the ocean, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, everything had form as well as function. So it was really a good mixture of the two. And it was just a very unique way of putting it together. Just the little details that he had thought of. For instance, one cool thing was there were slats, that each slat was movable by hand. And one thing that the augmented reality showed when you held the phone up to it was it showed a fish. And they were just all like, it's very similar to what you'd see with gills. And immediately, like, if you closed all of them, I actually tried this, I closed them and then I opened them, it definitely gets warmer if you close them, for sure, because the main atrium really gives a nice cool breeze to it. So the moment you open the slots just a little bit, it does definitely cool the room down, and that was a really impressive feat. They even mentioned it was very unique at the time. It was, you know, something that he came up with by himself. You don't really see it anywhere else. So it was a really cool design. It once again, it had form and function to it. So it went along with kind of this nautical theme, which was really cool.
Yep. And so, well, I mean, again, we forgot to kind of do this while we're at Casa Batlló, which is why we're doing this from the hotel room. This is our last night in Barcelona, and we'll be going to Sevilla tomorrow.